Hello, 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 everybody, everybody. What's cracking? What's up? What's going on? How is everybody doing? Guys, people, people of the sea. I'm happy that my AC is finally blowing cold. My AC is blowing cold. My AC is blowing cold. Dude, guys, people, oh my goodness. I have been struggling for at least maybe, just maybe 2 months. Just maybe 2 months and a half struggling with my AC. My AC was not working at all last night. And I made a video. Well, when I was in the video, I told y'all, but I didn't make a video about it. Because I was like, I'm only going to make 3 videos anyways. So it was, like I said, I think it was 2 months ago, I got really, really sick. I had high fever. Well, I guess not the last one, but I got a little bit semi sick. I didn't have high fever like that. Not that one, but I had like fever feelings, like your body feels different, and so I'm all like, I think I'm coming down with the sickness, and it was, I think, a couple of days where I had plenty of rest that I was gonna have. So I had like one day off, one day that I go and have 4, and then one day off again. So I'm like, this is enough time for me to get some rest. So I didn't put the AC on at all. Because when I'm sick, I'll turn the AC on for just like a little bit, just to have a little circulation, not have it so dry. And then, what the heck is that? And then I'll be like, okay, well, I'm not going to inhale any cold air or whatnot. So I didn't use my AC for at least 3 or 4 days, or maybe 3 or 5 days, for almost a semi week. And so after that, I was feeling much better, and I slept good enough to take off the sickness and everything else. I got over my sickness, and then I turned my AC on, and it was only blowing. Again, this was like two months and maybe some change, and it was only just blowing air, but not cold. And I could feel the air just a tad bit, like a tad bit of air. And then after that, that's when things went downhill. So then I waited for a whole week, because I'm like, maybe it's the heat, maybe something happened with the heat. And then all of a sudden, I finally waited a week. I called my maintenance crew and I told them the AC is not blowing cold. They came in the next day, well, actually that same day, because I called on my lunch break, and they came around like 1 o'clock to my apartment to check to see, thermostat. And I was like, okay. And he left a paper saying it resolved. I called back and I said, no, it's still not blowing good enough. I waited 3 days, and then I called back and I told them it's still not running right. And they came back Then they checked it, and then it was still not good. And then I waited a whole week instead of 3 days. I waited a whole week, and then I called them and said, "Yeah, the AC is still not blowing the way it is, and it's not getting to operating temperature. Like I let it cool down. I let the AC cool down." And then they come back, they leave a note, and I'm watching this. I'm been watching this through my cameras the whole entire time. And so I'm like, okay, well, obviously things are not getting resolved. So I wait after the power cut off for a whole week, and things happen and stuff in between. Then I finally, after a week of us having our electricity back, after a week, I called in and I said, hey, the AC is not working. And by the way, what the heck is that shiny thing? Look at it. Is that the sun? The sun randomly peeking through. And I told them the ceiling is in the kitchen has been leaking. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have 2 work orders going, one for the AC, one for the ceiling. So then someone came for the ceiling, but not the AC. Like a guy in the morning, he's like, let me see the ceiling, and I don't to see the ceiling. And he looked at the ceiling where it was and how it was dripping. He's like, oh, okay, me can go look up there later, and then tomorrow I'll come back. So okay, never came back. So then I waited. They supposedly fixed it. I waited 3 days. I called back and said, hey, my ceiling is not. It's still leaking, as well as my AC. I don't know if they have to do with each other, but I know that these two are not working in my apartment, and I need them to test it. Then finally, they come in. They fix the AC. It was blowing cold and it was getting cooler. So it literally took almost the whole entire day. Like from the time I came in, like 8 o'clock, it's still trying to get to 70. It hasn't even got to 70 yet. Still trying to get to 70, and it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I keep turning it off and on, and I'm like, no, something's not right. So I called it in again. Finally, I was all like, look, I don't know if they're gonna do this, and this is the last time because, well, actually, I said the ceiling, yeah. It's the second time. They had one more time, and so I'm like, okay, the ceiling's still leaking, and my AC's still not working. And then they're like, okay, so they send a guy over, and he's all like, it's because the AC was off, and I just explained yesterday on how this situation occurred. I was here the day before yesterday, or some day, and he comes in, and I say the AC doesn't go below 70 at all. Like I always at night he's like, oh, it's off, and I said, of course it's off. I turned it off. I heard you on the roof, so I turned it off. And he's like, oh, and so I said, look, I can turn it back on. And I said, you don't smell that? It's dead AC, like, because it was nasty, dead, and you can feel it in your body. You can feel like that nasty stickiness in your body. And so I'm like, it's not good. And then he's like, it's on right now. I said, yeah, it's on right now. He starts feeling the AC, and nope. He's like, let me go check. And so I thought he was going to come back upstairs and come back and check to see how I was doing. He kept turning it off and on. And then yesterday is the day where when I came home last night, it was hot. It felt like a freaking oven. And I go to my thermostat, and my thermostat is on, but no AC is blowing whatsoever. Nothing. Not a thing. And so I'm like, I get on the phone, and I said this on my live stream. So I get on the phone, I try contacting the management system, the Nova management system, and then they give me one person gave me the runaround. She's all like, we no longer service that apartment anymore, the apartment complex anymore. So you're gonna have to call this. I'm like, since when? Since when does Nova not service my like? I'm so confused. I just called yesterday, and they made me a work order. So, and then I guess she didn't want to do her job or something like that of that nature. So I said, okay, that's fine. It's all on recording anyways. And so I was like, because I literally was going to, I emailed as well. I emailed Nova in the morning because I literally did not sleep the whole entire day at all. I went to sleep around, everybody started getting up. So it was like 4:30, around 4:30. So I only got like a couple of hours of sleep. That's because it was way too hot to even go to sleep. I tried sleeping on the floor. I had the fan up. Like I really couldn't sleep. So then I contacted Nova on email. I said, look, this is urgent. I don't know what's going on with your people, but these people are not, getting the work order correctly. And so if they were to answer that same time, I would have said like a whole bunch of crap because I was literally legitimately was going to hire AC professionals to come into the building and to look at the AC professionals and then like go to the apartment complex today. I thought this was gonna happen today. And go to the complex and be like, hey, y'all can't fix my AC, so I'm gonna send AC professionals and I'm gonna hand you the bill. I'm gonna give you the bill when I'm done. Because obviously y'all cannot get this AC blowing cold. So then as I'm going to work, the guy that I know in the apartment complex, he's a maintenance and he lives on property. And so I said, man, my apartment's still hot. And he's like, oh yeah. He said the AC compressor it gone out. I said the AC compressor. Since when they were gonna call me and tell me that the AC compressor? I said the guy even turned it off. I can't even get a hold of anybody last night. And I told him, I said I was literally gonna, jump on someone's ladder and hop up there and figure out what the heck is going on. I told him I legitimately, I said I was literally gonna hire someone and give you all the bill so you could pay for it because obviously, somebody's not doing their job correctly. So, those things that somebody's not doing their job, you got to do it for them. So now I had some intel that the compressor is no longer kicking in. So then throughout the day, I saw one person come in and he checked the AC, and then I saw two guys come in, which two of the maintenance guys. And when they came in, and I was at work, I was like, oh, I think they're in my apartment. So I went to the restroom and I was looking. They said they were talking in Spanish. They're like, you see, but let's just say he said curse word, and then he's all like, it's muy better. It's much better. Yeah, I can feel the difference. He was saying that in Spanish, and then I was like, oh, I think they got it working. I was getting crazy earlier myself. I was over here in the restroom like squealing, and I was excited because he literally said, oh yeah, it feels so much better in here. Yeah. And then he's all like, let me check the restroom because that's where she checked. And so he checked the restroom and it was perfectly fine. And they kept, waving their hands in the air like they just don't care. And I'm all like, yes, I think I got AC at work. And this was around, I think 11 or 12. I think 1 actually. That's when I seen them. And then I was like, yes, I hope that when I come home, and then as soon as I opened my door, I felt it through the door. I was like, oh, yes, it's finally blowing cold again, guys. My AC is finally blowing cold. So hopefully I could get a good night's rest. Hopefully. And I'm going to try to take it easy. Maybe. I actually went to Kroger's, and surprisingly, Kroger's does no longer sell dry ice. Oh man, that's a dry. Man, I was looking for dry ice so I could cool the place down faster. But yeah, guys, so my AC is finally blowing cold again, and I'm super excited, super excited. Thank you for hearing my whole long mofo talk, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.